Jesus. So the year has gone by. It's gone. Speaking of being gone. Hello, Kuro.
Excuse me?
Hello. Hello, Kopo. Hello.
Speaking
Welcome
of
back.
being gone,
Welcome back, Kopo. Welcome. Welcome. Hello.
hello. So I'm going to quickly... Okay, I think that's good.
Said hello. Hello? Hello? Beautiful.
Also, hello,
Ow.
Roselia as well.
Hello,
Also,
Roselia. Oh, you got the rally, the inspire. You got it.
No, it's fist bump.
Yeah, fist bump. Nice. Oh god. But yeah, welcome back, everyone. Welcome. We're here to hopefully finish the MSQ. I mean, no, it's not gonna happen. But
Nah.
continue it. Yeah, I feel like we're probably not gonna address Nidhogg for a while.
No.
I feel like this. It feels like there's still a lot of Heaven's Word left. It feels like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see because like we've done all the major dungeons. I think there's just like maybe some trials left. I think maybe. We'll see. Are you okay, Koopa?
I forgot something. Hold on. Because this is my new Bard outfit, but since we are still in Heaven's Sword, then I guess I have to finish Heaven's Sword as I started it.
Sure. Good. Did you switch gear or is that a glamour?
That is a glamour.
Nice. Okay. Alright, let's go. Huh. Also, before we go, I want to give a massive shout out to Kuro for furnishing the house and for adding a Christmas tree. We actually have a Christmas tree.
Yeah, we do have a Christmas tree. Of course we have a Christmas tree. We always have a Christmas
I don't have a Christmas tree IRL, but I have one in Final Fantasy, and that's all that matters. It's beautiful. It would be nice. I know it'd be complicated, but it would be nice if like we could like decorate it. You know, like if even if it was very limited customization, it would be nice if we could customize it. Like we can change what's on the top, like a Moogle or a star or whatever. We can change what's on the top, or we can change like the color of the ribbons and stuff.
There are two different trees for indoors. One of them is this. The other has a chocobo on top, and it's like all silver.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like it'd be nice if we could do slight customizations here and there.
It would be cute. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Square Enix, get on it.
Look, right after they enable shooting caracals and a few other.
Well, they already did that.
Yeah, but only on the island.
Yeah, it's fine. Also, we have some Christmas dinner here as well.
We do it.
Should we eat?
Although we actually don't. I mean, I guess we could.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't think I've ever actually. I think I might have eaten once.
I don't think I've ever eaten. Yeah. Okay, we'll have some turkey. Oh, sorry, dodo. For those who don't know, this is actually a dodo, which makes sense because dodos are pretty big. They're...
Actually, this one is small for a dodo.
It's true. Well, I mean, it shrunk because it was in the oven. You know?
I guess so.
It doesn't expand; it shrinks. Yeah. Starlight dodo uses 10. Oh my god!
What did we get?
I had like a gulping sound.
Vitality and reduced durability loss.
There you go. It's nice. We actually had some food. You know what we should do? I mean, it's up to you. If maybe like each MSQ stream we start with like eating something.
we could. We could.
We have a bunch of food, so we can like eventually get through it all. I don't know. Okay. Gotta get out of here. All right. So the quest that we're currently doing is the Word of the Mother. We were speaking about this last time, but I believe that this all has to do with us trying to find Minfilia. Why do we have such like? Why are we prioritizing this? I don't know.
Because we got Kyle.
Who?
Kyle.
Was that the little kid?
That not the other
The little
person
teacher.
who has the person who has Echo.
Yeah.
She's apparently her best friend.
Oh, okay, yeah. So she's friends with Minfilia. So she showed up for some reason, and because she showed up, we're gonna look for Minfilia.
I mean, I think we invited her.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why suddenly we're so interested in looking for Minfilia. Just because there's other shit going on, right? There's like the stuff with Orianger. There's the stuff with the the Warriors of Darkness. There's Nidhogg. I don't think there's like a reason other than like, oh yeah, Minfilia. It's like,
yeah,
we should probably look for her. Like,
I mean, it's like, do we need to look for her? Like, I feel like maybe like that could be like a thing that's like delegated to like a group of people and not us
we can
specifically.
Like, Hori Boulder can look for Minfilia, okay? Like,
no, I don't think Hori would be good because he's not like a magical thingy.
Sure.
Like put someone like with who knows magic on it. Like put Kryl on it. You know, like I don't feel like we're necessary.
Yeah. All right. So the quest reads: all things come at a price, and Matoya's permission is no different. Although she grants you and Thancred access to the anti-tower, she demands that the others stay behind and assist her with various chores. You are soon denied even the bard's company. However, when Ishtola forbids him from entering the tower for fear of how he might be affected by the swirling ether within, this is because Thancred can't. He can't use ether.
He can't magic.
Yeah, Thancred can't magic and Ishtola can't see. She's blind.
Yes.
As a reminder.
I mean, she's blind, but she sees using ether.
She's Daredevil. Okay, she's Matt Murdock.
Yes, she's literally doing a Daredevil thing.
Yes. She's the best lawyer in the city.
Yes, sure.
And so it falls to you to explore the Sharlayan structure alone, or with some few of your fellow adventurers, if you must. Matoya being a charitable sort. There you go. Summary. Oh, I remember this. It would seem that Kryl and Thancred's foray into the Castrum menagerie, they went into the menagerie, if you remember, was a success. According to Alfino, the pair had called a meeting in Idleshire where they will share their findings. But what could they have learned? How might it lead to the antecedent? You learn that after concluding their investigation in the Praetorium, Kryl and Thancred journeyed to the Sildi aqueducts, where Minfilia was last seen. Apparently, the readings from these two locations yielded a unique etheric signature, one which was also detected at the Isle of Val, where Kryl claims she was shielded by the Blessing of Light. The conclusion is clear. Heidelin's intercisions can be measured and traced. Furthermore, Kryl states that not 2 but 3 people were caught in Ishtola's flow. Unlike the Archons, however, the third individual appears to have vanished without a trace. That's Minfilia. Though it is something of a logical leap, Kryl surmises that Heidelin, who has a demonstrated capacity to summon the consciousness of those blessed with the echo to her realm, may have guided Minfilia into the teleportation magic's compass, and thence summoned her, body and soul, into the ethereal sea. Should this be the case, then the search must continue in that near mythical place. Fortunately, it would seem that the Sharlayans built a structure to study the sea, and its custodian yet demands in defiance of the exodus. It's Matoya. Matoya is the guardian. Okay. There we go. So we're caught up, Copa.
We're basically going to an astral plane.
I think the tower is like a gateway there.
Mm-hmm.
Gateway there. Okay. Let's get this done.
What are you gonna be playing?
I'll be a dancer.
Okay. Wait, so are we queuing? Or do we go somewhere?
Yeah, did Soko respond? Is Soko gonna come or?
He did. No.
Okay.
I think
Soko
Soko
didn't
is in bed.
Okay. In all of creation, what greater mystery could there be than the fate of this very star? To sound the deepest depths, to study the ethereal sea itself. For these purposes and more was the anti-tower built. Abandoned by Herschelian caretakers following the Exodus, it has since been overrun by magical guardians and left behind. Yet were one blessed with her gift to brave these dangers and descend to the furthest reaches, to hear, feel, and think at the heart of this world. What would they find? Let's find out. And while we're in the QA, we can go and quest.
Yeah, and once again, if somebody in chat is playing Final Fantasy and they're at the level that they can play this, you can join us.
Join us. Come, papi.
Also, I need to know, what are you talking about? What are you saying about pierogies?
What do you mean?
I saw you discussing pierogi with Sando.
It's because it's in my Twitch title.
Yeah, but what were you saying? Because I couldn't hear.
What? Oh, Sando was talking about pierogies, and I was talking about how when I was in Poland, I was promised prawn pierogies, but they were out of it. If you remember, they ran out.
Yeah.
And Sando was like, that doesn't sound like a regular pierogi. Why are there prawns there? And he was trying to like equivalate it with the ceviche that I was judging.
I also saw him saying, I think Poland it should be potato and meat. What was that about?
That he was guessing what should be in a traditional pierogi.
No, a traditional pierogi has cabbage and mushrooms. Sometimes you can have it with meat as well. There's like a meat thingy you put. It's like, I think it's like, it's not minced meat because it's like more like a paste. But yeah.
Yeah.
So you can have it with meat, and those are the two most common. I feel like the most classic one is the one with cabbage.
I mean, we had meat pierogies when we were there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I feel like the most classic one is the cabbage one. There is also like the sweet version with like cheese and stuff, but I personally don't like it. And those are like the classic ones. But of course, like people have put anything in them by this point.
Okay, couple. So if we had to quest in Azisla, Corthius, or the Sea of Clouds, or the Dravanian Forelands, which one would you learn to quest in?
Azisla.
Azisla?
Yeah, because I feel like in other places there will be like more story and lore, and I don't want it to be disturbed by the dungeon.
Okay. Pretty sure we're gonna get a little story and lore around the Alazans in Azisla, but okay.
Yeah, but I don't care as much about Azisla. If you remember, that was the problem of Azisla, that like it didn't really like care.
Well, the problem with Azisla is that it sped you through it, even though it was a big zone. So like the game itself didn't want you to care, which is weird. Like
yeah,
there's like half of the zone of Azisla we didn't even get to explore. Yeah. Get over here.
Teleporting. It's been like 4 days. I forgot how to play.
Okay. So we have a quest up ahead. It is called General Protection Fault. If you remember, there's like a bunch of AI spheres around here.
They're like nodes.
Down here.
If you remember, we have a companion node, like a companion.
Yeah, we saved her. We reformatted her.
We have literally a companion cube.
Safeguard node. The Allegan safeguard node is flickering erratically. Danger! Danger! Unable to access key Azisla security systems. Enforcement Droid 208 is not responding to emergency shutdown commands. Recommend immediate forcible destruction of equipment. Unable to access. It's on repeat. Okay. It's a B. It's a hive.
Saying the same thing, by the way, which in this case I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because it's not copy pasted; they just keep typing the same message.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Quackers.
What is this? So where are my frames? My frames are not doing well.
It's big.
The feet is what gets you. So it's like these really long toes.
Yeah, it's so it doesn't fall over.
I guess?
There's more of them over here. We can have a look at them after. Safeguard mode. Confirm deactivation of malfunctioning security equipment. In recognition of your part in preventing a possible repeat of the incident, in which 209 civilians and/or researchers were savagely associated 600-hour cleanup effort have been recommended for a reward. Thank you.
I like how it gives you all the information. Yeah, remember that incident where everybody died and then we had to clean up for like 3 years? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you prevented that.
Yeah. It's good. I'm gonna get the risotto.
I'm gonna get caviar. Oh yeah, I also have some ginger cookies that I got from Soko and the Ortus FC.
But
I'm
yeah, I like it
sorting
because
my
it like
food.
it's very like Fallout-y. It's very Fallout actually. Now that I think about it, this whole zone where you're coming in and civilization is like gone, and like there's a massive period where you weren't there, but like there are robots around that like don't know or haven't like comprehended like how long it's been, and like they refer to a bunch of stuff.
They know exactly how long it's been. It's just that like nobody has disabled the protocols that they've been running on.
Well, yeah, like they assume that like civilization is still like kind of running, or like, you know, like it's there's a reason why they still have all these like protocols and stuff like that going on. So yeah, it's nice. It's very, very Fallout. Also, these are those creatures.
Can you call a droid a creature?
I mean, maybe.
Because I think creature assumes that the thing is alive, right?
Ah, it's shooting. I mean, it could be alive. Our companion cube had a little bit of sentience.
That's the thing. It confuses me. Like, how much sentience do these things have? Because some of them like show personality. But only some of them.
Never really got to explore this area. This is the island that I think the dragon's tied up over there.
Oh?
The daughter of Nidhogg. No, sorry, the daughter of what's his name? Midsummer.
Oh.
Remember how we were gonna free her, but
she's
she's going to like repent and just stay here forever. Which is a bit sad.
It is sad. But this is also where we learned more things about them.
You mean the ancestrality?
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Where are her legs?
Right here. Oh my god, they're impaled onto the ground. Look. There's like massive rods like stabbing into her feet.
That's what I mean. What the heck?
Yeah.
It looks painful.
It's supposed to be painful.
Yeah, but it's one thing to be like, tied up, and another to be like literally stabbed, just like hanging there.
Yeah. Elevated aggression levels. It's over here. Enhancement.
It's an egg. I like this one. It's blue.
The Allegan enhancement node appears agitated. Wow, it's agitated. That can be.
Receiving emergency requests or assistance from security division. Catastrophic failure. Dragon behavioral control experiment. Multiple bad dragons escape from isolation and mandate immediate termination of all 3 subjects to avoid possible.
I mean, it's possible that the dragons could already be dead by now.
Yeah, they could be. Also, how long have they been out?
Yeah, I mean, they could be gone. There's no reason for them to be here anymore.
I mean, these ones are hanging
We'll
out.
see. True.
There's a river. It just ends randomly.
There's one more over here. Huh. Oh.
Yeah, there are a lot of crystals around. How do we explain that?
What do you mean? That's blood. I was looking at I was looking at the ribs. They're dragon ribs right here.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Skeleton.
It's like, what happened here to be just like sprinkled in it all over?
Yeah, it's their blood. They were fucking destroyed.
Neutralization of subjects confirmed. The Allagan Empire thanks you for your contribution. Preliminary assessment indicates test subject escape was instigated by elevated aggression levels induced as part of testing protocol. A comprehensive review will be carried out to prevent a future occurrence of similar events and assist the testing and research facility in their unwavering efforts to 2,551 items are currently awaiting administrative review. Please ensure review by an authorized dragon breeding oversight official at your earliest convenience. So they're breeding.
We're behind. We're behind with our reviews. We have things to review.
Yes. We need to review all the dragons. Look, the things are spinning down there.
Also, when you buzzed, you made it sound like it was powering down, but the buzz is supposed to be like redacted information.
I know. It was fun.
It didn't turn off. Ah. Oh, it's an admin.
Oh, this one is a square.
Oh. The Allegan administrative node's warning lights are flashing.
See, so here's the thing. Because you know that you can get the Allagan nodes instead of your like vendors at home. I want to be able to customize which shape you get. It's like to get different shapes and colors.
Warning, warning. Sensors indicate a large number of unidentified dragons in the immediate vicinity. These creatures present a significant threat to the balance of the local environment. Creatures are designated as Mercidian Barbinax. All troops of Allegan Empire eliminate this threat. Each soldier is to exterminate 4
Nice.
4 Mercidian Barbinax. how large is the army? If it's calling the army to come here, and each one, like, that's calculated. There's gonna be like thousands of dragons.
Or maybe it just calculates how big the army is. It's like, oh, the army is like 5 people.
I don't know how it would calculate that we are part of the army and distinguish between us and like someone who's visiting. Because if you remember, like a bunch of these places are like touristic places.
I like the river though. This is the most interesting river we've seen in this game so far. Because it's like actually like has like, you know, a lot of like turns and stuff.
It has nice water flow.
Yeah. It's very dynamic. And also the ground itself is like more varied. Like we have like hills and stuff. Like it's kind of sad that like the most interesting like environment is artificial.
Maybe that's why it's interesting.
I guess. But like this is what I would like Shroud to look like, you know? There's like hills and like we have like rivers, you know, going around. Like you have rivers in Shroud, but they're like very flat.
I just hope they do more here. Like, I'm pretty sure the main quest is going to take us back here to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I hope it's worth it. Restrainment node. The Allegan restrainment node is gently glowing and spinning.
This one is an orange egg. Warning, warning. Several Javanian test subjects have breached their restraints and now inhibit the immediate vicinity. These subjects are extremely dangerous and present a real threat to the safety of personnel and equipment. Loyal warriors of the Allegan Empire, please ensure the safety of all staff and citizens by neutralizing this threat. Each soldier is to eliminate 3 Merakidian phalanx and 3 Merakidian dragons.
Elimination of unregistered life forms confirmed. Verifying population of Robiniacs. Beep, beep. Robiniac reproduction rate significantly higher than initially anticipated. Environmental unbalance unavoidable. Without complete annihilation of dragon population.
Oh my god.
Unregistered life forms are a direct violation of the Allegan Imperial Environmental Protection Act, the Pets and Domesticated Animals Preservation Statute, the Azisla Livestock Control Resolution, the Allegan Ecological Beautification Reform Treaty, the... I want to know all of it.
They're violating all of it.
They're violating all of the doctrines and the treaties. We must nuke the dragons. Oh. Which one do I want?
I guess I'm gonna cut the deep.
I'm gonna get some haddock.
Yeah. So.
Getting a lot of food.
We are actually. We haven't got a lot of food lately, so now we're making up for it. Of course, I have no space for it.
It's okay, we'll eat some food in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because in 5 minutes we're gonna run out of dodo.
Okay.
We're running out of dodo. Ah, we're in. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my dancer. The anti-tower. Let's go. Let's get our pierogi.
Yes.
Let's eat him.
In time for Christmas. I mean, past Christmas, but...
Oh, the lighting.
Indeed.
It literally has a portal at the top of the tower.
It does. It's also very fancy.
Oh, I mean the bottom of the tower. Never mind.
I mean, it is the anti-tower.
It is. Ah, we're in the upside down.
Oh no. Oh no, did you see the chat? The tag is like, how do you like your poo? Smart, spicy, something in between? And the other guy responds, insane. Oh well. Maybe gonna fail.
Why? I mean, it really only affects the tank of the healer.
Yeah, I guess. Unless I'm being
like
targeted
we shouldn't have any kind of say in that.
Yeah, I just find it funny because like this is our first time here, so we really don't know what to expect. It's like, yeah, just go all the way.
Yeah, but it's ads. It's fine. We're fighting a pierogi.
We are. We're pierogi.
He's a river tamer. He tamed a Hropkin.
Apparently.
Which is kind of weird.
I mean, apparently the Hropkin was in the river. How can you tame a Hropkin though?
That's what I mean. Like that's like I'm pretty sure Hropkins are sentient. Like they have their own like tribes and stuff.
Like they may not be very smart, but I'm pretty sure they are sentient.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if that means literally like to control of someone trying to resist.
Maybe he wasn't trying to resist.
No.
Look, we know that Char Lions weren't like always good, you know.
It's the pierogis.
Yeah, but the pierogis were made by Char Lions.
Yeah, true.
Like they literally frogs that somebody turned into servants.
Yeah, they have their missions. They have their purposes.
Some of them just sit there and wait.
Yeah. Cute. We're gonna kill them all.
I meant the one that we know, but yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a king pierogi. Oh my god.
Oh my god, so big.
To be honest, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the hat. The hat is amazing, but the staff is a bit much.
Looks like a kid's toy.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
The staff is very cartoony.
What has it been doing? Is it singing?
It was creating a zone of music.
Supposed to kill that?
Yeah.
What do you want from me? Get away. I'm a bard. I'm not scared of a singing frog.
Kill it. Kill it. Beautiful. Oh, we're zooming.
Yeah, look at us. Wow.
We're like Princess Leia in space.
Oh my god. Actually better. That scene was not good. Mimics.
Can I get the chest?
I want to get the chest. Fine. Okay, get the chest.
Too slow.
Why? But the sound suddenly got very quiet. Why are there... Those are wardrobes. Why are they jumping out of wardrobes?
Where else do you keep your homunculus?
Fine. I mean, what?
In your wardrobe.
In a wooden wardrobe, specifically.
What are you doing?
Why are spree guns here?
They were in the cupboards.
Are they dust bunnies?
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, it's another bunny.
It's a tiny bunny on top of a giant stone.
It's Ziggy!
That's where he is. He came back from Korea.
Yeah. Okay, what do we do with this?
Killed him. If you don't kill them, they don't stop growing. Pretty sure, yeah, you just... Yeah. Just stand behind the rock.
Doesn't help.
It's because you didn't do it properly. You could see that if you line up yourself properly with the rock, it tethers itself. Okay. Huh. Ah, thank you for subscribing, clown.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Huh. Beautiful. Oh, the poor bunny.
Poor bunny. Ziggy was just trying to play.
Tarde pero feliz Navidad, chico. Ah, gracias, papi, gracias. Feliz Navidad también. Feliz Navidad. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we're on the
Thank
roof.
you for the sub.
We're on the ceiling.
We are on the ceiling.
might have triggered one of them on me.
It's fine. Just run.
I am, but I'm being hit. Please take him away from me.
Just run into him so he can take it from you. And then to take the ads to the tank.
I did, and it still triggers on me. I think I ran through the tank.
You don't have aggro.
Those are centaurs. We've never seen them before.
They're in Azisla. Oh, there's little black mages.
Yeah, actually.
They're little automatons.
Remember, they're like Gigi.
Yeah.
These ones are heavy.
They just keep coming.
They do.
I want like a big drop. Like us going down a big tower. Oh my god.
Oh no.
The twins.
We are Cabrina, adorable dolls, terrible dolls. Sleep ho ho. This is how you know you're in Japan.
This isn't Japanese. This is The Shining.
The what?
The Shining. It's a movie.
Yeah, but what I mean is that like Japan would put this into game.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna.
Oh, this is the final boss.
Yeah, that's why we got this.
Really short.
Oh my god, what are they doing? I'm scared.
Oh, oh. Like it.
Okay.
They have laser eyes.
Yes, of course they do.
It's beautiful.
Okay, what now? I'm terrified, actually.
They're puppets. They're puppets. Did you
They are puppets and they're giggling. Oh my god, they're Voltroning. Oh, bombs.
It's
yes.
naked. Put the dress back on. You're indecent. What are you doing? Ah.
I mean, they Voltron straight into it. Also, I can't do anything.
Yeah, it's because you stood in front of it. Now we know not to stand in front of it.
Where does... I wasn't even in front.
Yes, you were. Now you stand in front of it. You're on the wrong side, Kuro.
I can't run. Well then.
I just realized it's smashing its head into the ground.
Oh my god. This is bizarre.
It's amazing. I love it.
I knew you would like it.
Yeah. Don't look at me.
I'm not looking at you.
It's racing, get in front of it.
It won't let me run.
Good job.
Oh my god.
See, she's fine.
Uh-huh. Is that good?
Happy.
Why are we so happy?
Because we made it through the anti-tower.
But they're still there. They were still dancing.
Yeah. I appreciated the detail. There was actually veins on it as well.
Yeah, this was terrifying. Why? If they are dolls, why do they have veins?
Because they're not dolls. They're like void sent creatures. Or I guess these wouldn't be void sent. They'd be Allegan constructs.
But we use Shalayan.
Oh, Shalian constructs. Sorry. There you go. Yeah, that makes even more sense because they're all about like creating puppets and taking over minds.
Hear, feel, think. Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst. We are the word of the mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn, guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
Thank the 12! Did you find her? Did you find Minfilia? The word of the mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfilia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be. Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The Scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No, this is all wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so before we start, can you explain to me what Hydaelyn said?
So, I'm pretty sure. So straight up, as soon as we meet Minfilia, it's like, oh, she's dead. So so basically what happened, and this is what I assumed. Well, this is what I assumed, especially after Thancred, and I kind of like it. this is the writing team of Square recognizing that there are some characters that were underwritten or were received really poorly in A Realm Reborn, and they're like revamping them. Right? They did it with Tataru. I think it was really smart, and I think that's also why we focused on only a handful of characters for the main expansion. Because they gave Tataru a lot more screen time, and she's kind of redeemed herself. Like she's a much better character than she was annoying as fuck, and she was just a useless piece of shit in A Realm Reborn. Here, she's a little bit more endearing. She's
still a bit useless, but like
she is, but she's better.
Yeah,
right?
She's trying.
Yeah. They focus on Nafi, they focus on Ishtola, and then they in a way kind of revamped Thancred, because we didn't get a lot of screen time with Thancred, if you remember. He was kind of there a little bit, and then he betrayed us, and then I never forgave him. It's like, the fuck you doing? And I never felt like there was any usefulness to him either. So they're kind of giving him better motivation here. They're like, oh, actually, you know what? He was like the caretaker of Minfilia when she was a child, and now he's got more investment, and now he can't use any magic, and now he was on his own. Like they're giving him more shit.
I mean,
so that
I still think that they can make random history about Minfilia is weird because it's out of the blue.
Yeah, well, obviously, but they're just trying to make the character interesting. They're trying to give him more because he was such a fucking bad character in A Realm Reborn, and I still think he is. They still have shit to do with him.
Yeah.
But like that's what they're doing with it. They're trying to work with him. Like even now here, like he's going through some shit, right? And Minfilia is the other big problem. It was like Minfilia and Tataru were like the two big things that really dragged down A Realm Reborn. And here they straight up just killed her. It was like, okay.
I mean, yeah, technically they killed her. Personally, I don't think this is the last time we see her.
Probably not.
But like, I would
was.
like if she stays as like it's just part of Hydaelyn and just like that's how we interact with her.
That it wouldn't be her though, because what we're basically told here is that, and it's really weird. Like I got really weird vibes this entire time. It was really like nefarious what happened. Basically. Yeah. What happened is Minfilia was lured into the etheric flow by Hydaelyn. Hydaelyn lured her in, and basically because she was stuck in a sea of void, Minfilia struck a deal with Hydaelyn, and she basically just gave up her body and soul to Hydaelyn. And it's like, and she was it feels like she was coerced into it, because like what else is she gonna do? She's like,
sure.
Like Hydaelyn lured her into nothingness. To force her into basically a deal where she gives up any kind of like sentience and any kind of individuality, so that now she's just a vessel to be like the voice box of Hydaelyn. Yeah. That's basically what she is right now.
But the thing is,
and that's pretty fucked up.
It is, but the thing is also like the way she phrases things and the way like she speaks. Sometimes it feels like she's like a prisoner. It feels like she wants to like say something, or she like feels something about, like has some emotion about something, but then like she's like being not silenced, but like she's being just
maybe, I don't know. I got the feeling that she just wasn't there at all. I got the feeling that it was just Hydaelyn speaking to us.
No, I got the feeling that she was trapped, that she like every now and then like she would like go, like you could see like glimpses that like there's still a person there. But then it would be like silenced back when like there was another thing going on.
I didn't get that at all. I got that she was just an empty husk of a body that was just inhabited by Hydaelyn. But yes, that's pretty fucked up. Especially because it didn't feel like there was like just because it felt like she was put into a position where that's the only thing she could do. And on the one hand, they're trying to explain it away here. They're trying to say like, well, like if anyone would do it, like she would, right? And
which makes sense.
And like kind of yes and no. It would make sense if like okay, she became the speaker of Hydaelyn, sure, but like she's gone because apparently Hydaelyn is running out of power. So then it's like, what was the point? Like what was the point? It's like, become my speaker for a day because I'm gonna die. It's like, what? Like it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was weird because we didn't get any payoff for something that happened. Or she didn't, as a character, she didn't get any payoff for such a big sacrifice.
No, but basically, if we didn't specifically go there, we would never hear it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's like no point.
So yeah. So far, that's the thing that makes this a little bit sad, is that it feels like she gave up a lot for nothing. And I'm sure we're gonna see her again, obviously, and we're gonna see her now. Her new role is gonna be the speaker for Heidelin. I don't know if she's gonna get her personality back. I would be okay if she didn't. I'd be okay if she's just a voice. She's just a mic. But I would be okay with that if we address it here. Like, I thought there was going to be like a little bit of a back and forth discussion by Alpino and everyone about her being trapped and all this stuff, and whether Heidelin did something good or not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they didn't really address. They were just confused. But what was the story that Heidelin was telling? Because I'll be honest, I did not understand the story, especially when she was like, yeah, we divided by 3 by 10 and something. I'm like, what?
13, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't...
3 and 10. So from my understanding, okay, there's ether, right? There's just ether out there. And then apparently after that, like, for whatever reason, like, there were manifestations of good and evil, which is supposed to be Heidelin and Zodiac, right? Which are like, they're meant to be like just 2 different sides of I don't know, manifestation of good and evil, right? And I guess Zodiac wanted more. And from what I understand, the calamities are ways to force... I imagine it's forcing ether towards Zodiac, or like he's gaining more and more ether like every time it happens, basically, for whatever reason, right? Whether it's the calamity itself is hurting Heidelin, or just allowing Zodiac to break free, or whatever the I don't know what.
I mean, it sounded like Zodiac was trapped.
Sure, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the calamities help him and they hurt her. Like, that's all that really matters. Like why and how isn't going into detail, and we'll probably get more details later. But yeah, so there's been 7 so far, and I thought that meant that there needed to be 13 calamities, and that's when he breaks free. But I mean, it's already been 7. And Heidelin is apparently out of power. I don't know why. They should have explained that a little bit better. I don't know why she's like fucking dying, but she is. Yeah.
I thought we restored her, didn't we?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. For whatever reason, she's dying. And yeah.
What do you think about the discussion afterwards? Like, regardless the fact that they didn't mention the whole Mielikka being trapped.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I mean, yeah. They're saying as if Minfilia is already dead. If she is, I would have hoped they would have given us a little bit more with Minfilia, because they showed us like a quote unquote death scene of her, right? Like her disappearing. But it would have been nice if we got a little bit of closure. Like personally, I don't really care because I don't have any strong feelings towards Minfilia. But like character wise, it would have been nice if we got a little bit of closure, if it is implied that she's dead. Because the characters are talking as if she is, basically. They're talking as if like, well, they're assuming what I assumed, which is that she gave up any kind of individuality to be swallowed up by Heidelin and to be used like a microphone. Like that's my assumption, and it feels like they're assuming the same thing. And if they are, I feel like there needs to be like a little bit more and like respects paid to Minfilia, which we're probably going to get.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go into, because I feel like, especially because of like how Thancred is like storming out and stuff, I feel like we're gonna get more of like story.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want to say used to it because that's a wrong word, but like this is not the first time Alfino is in such situation where things are not going the way he wants them to.
Yeah.
And like yet he seems like almost more like hurt than the first time. I'm not sure what I think about that.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure they just assumed that they would be able to get her back because we got Y'shtola and Thancred back.
True.
So it's kind of it's very sudden to learn that suddenly Minfilia is dead. Should it really matter? No, because Minfilia never did anything. And if you remember, like anything that she like was a part of, like eventually Alfino had to do himself and take over himself and do all this shit. So she was like useless anyway. Which is why like I go back to it. It does feel like the writers of Square Enix are like rebooting some of these characters. Like they're rebooting Thancred, they're rebooting Tataru, they're rebooting Minfilia as a character as well. Like even if we do get her back and somehow like she's able to like return back to normal and gain sentience, like again, like it's the purpose of all of this is to like have her go through like a traumatic experience. So then like they have something to work with and they can like flush out her character a little bit more and just have her be more interesting in general. Because maybe if she does come back, maybe she has like basically like a Link Pearl straight to Heidelin, or like maybe like every now and then we're gonna be talking and then bam, Heidelin's just gonna like her eyes are gonna go up.
She's gonna go full medium.
Yeah, exactly. Like that'll be fine, you know. Like yeah, sure, do that. Like that's what I thought was gonna happen, but instead she's just stuck in the sea of ether. It's like
yeah, say I thought we were gonna like bring her back and she's just gonna be like speaking shit. So like
yeah, she's gonna be a robot. And it's like no, okay, apparently not.
Because as you said, like there's no point of having her there if she's only there.
Hello, Asher. Hello. But yeah, I don't know. Did you have any issues?
No, just yeah, I don't know. Like the conversation afterwards wasn't. I don't know. Like it was not confusing, but like it was lacking something.
It was weird because it felt like the conversation afterwards revolved around them accepting that Minfilia was dead, when I feel like there was a step in between that we were missing. You know, in the process of grievance, right? There's like certain steps that need to be taken, and I feel like they
figuring out if needed to be dead in the first place.
Yeah, I feel like we need like some clarification first, and then if we get clarification, then a little bit of mourning, and then we can talk about like we're in a war and sometimes people die and she gave up her life for a cause, you know, and this happens and we need to learn to accept it and all this stuff, and this is the kind of conversation that you have with Alfino after he's like upset and like, you know, struggling to deal with what's happening because he's young and a kid and someone just died. And we're just trying to like, you know, like all this stuff makes sense, but like a little bit later, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like, look at that conversation where Matoya is like, "Well, you have to accept that," and like, and like Y'shtola is mad at her, but like, Matoya is right in that moment, you know.
No,
it's
yeah,
not.
She's
it's
right,
not that what she's saying is right. It's that like, this is like they've been doing this for a while. They have lost a lot of people already. It's not like this is the first time this happens.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I'm saying that like this conversation didn't. I feel like this conversation didn't bring the feeling in me that the writers wanted me to feel. Because I feel like the writers would want me to side with Y'shtola. It's like, yeah, be more gentle with him. Well, like, it's like, you've been through this. You know what it takes. Like, just put it plain for him.
That's why I said that this conversation was needed later. Because we needed him to be emotional and all that stuff first and have us care about how he's feeling first. And then you have Matoya bringing this up. I think this was said too soon. I think this is misplaced. Matoya should have, like, this discussion should have happened after we bring Thancred back from like storming out and all that stuff, you know, as a way to like give them a little bit of closure and stuff, so they can process what's happening.
Sure.
So yeah, that's what I would say, is that this is just a misplaced conversation. Also, the one issue that I had with what was being said is that she said that like it's on you now or whatever, like you have to do it on your own, and I'm like, you know, he has a sister, right? Like,
no,
she knows he has a sister because she keeps bringing up the sister because she keeps like bringing him up, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is being said right now? Like, this doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like, no, it's him and his sister. It's the Louisoix family. It's not just about him.
I mean, to be fair, it is about him because he's like the scion, and like his sister wasn't into science.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck she's doing, you know?
Yeah, no, but what I mean is that like Matoya was specifically asking like what do the science mean? So it's like about the science specifically.
And just bring the sister in as well. She can be a scion. There you go.
She never was a scion,
which
though.
is
Like that was
sure,
that was the entire point of them going their own ways. That he went for the science and she went for her own thing.
No, the entire point of them going their own ways is that they're going to be separate so they can fail, so they can come back and do things together. And that's exactly what happened at the end of A Realm Reborn. That's exactly what happened in the Binding Coils of Bahamut as well. So no, the point of them going their separate ways was so that they could come together. So that's why I would say that here, especially from Matoya, she should be alluding to that as well, because that's the whole point. That's the whole point of them being twins. That's the whole point of them, separating. It's because they will fail.
That would be an interesting
and I feel
story.
I feel like Matoya, and they will 100%. They've already done it in A Realm Reborn. They're going to probably keep doing it every expansion or every other expansion. But yeah, like Matoya, especially because she knows about the sister as well and keeps talking about her, like it would make more sense for her to bring her up here in this discussion. Shaking my head. I'll say, hello, Emperor Fuble. Hello. Alright. Are you ready to speak with Alfie? Are you ready to speak with Alfie?
Hold on, Matoya has a lot to say.
Okay. Then tell me. Are you ready to speak to Matoya?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say.
There's a blessed few who get to choose how and when and for what they die. Not that you need reminding, I suppose, but that boy. For all the suffering he has known, he still clings to the notion that there is a cosmic justice, a morality by which we are saved or condemned. And there isn't.
Again, like, this is all shit that I feel like needs to be said later. I think this is misplaced. Let's speak to Alfie. She's not coming back, is she? The first one. She did what she thought was best.
I mean, that is true.
No, it's not. We're not addressing it, but I'm pretty there was no reason for Heidelin to draw her in. Like, I'm pretty sure the action that Heidelin did was wrong.
Yeah, but that's what Minfilia thought was best.
Well, yeah, because otherwise she'd just be a prisoner forever. Now she's useful in a way. I know that. I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice, the loss. Pierogi!
Yes.
We got the pierogi. Piero.
But which one is it?
Speak to Alfie. Speak to Alfie.
Hold on.
We can summon it outside. Alfino has reached a decision. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Flamin. I feel like we should especially tell Flamin.
Yeah, we should especially tell her mother what happened to her daughter.
The mother deserves to know. Oh my
I feel like, let me put it differently. As much as it will hurt the mother, I feel like she's the one who would be the most accepting of this. As in, like, she would, like, realize what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would make, like, I would say that it's important just to, like, have a funeral. Just, have a moment for her so that everyone can, like, come together and, like, not just mourn her, but also, like, celebrate her. Like,
sure.
that would be the... That would be the thing to do if like someone were to die like in battle and whatever, which is basically what happened.
Sure, but also
obviously we don't have confirmation that she's dead, but like as far as they know, if she is, like
yeah, but also like I feel like Flamin is like Like what I mean is like Flammy is like not like this like gentle flower. She's gonna like I don't know faint and die when you tell her. Like she seems like the kind of person who can take things fairly well.
Yeah. I'll brief Tataru on what we've learned, as well as the Ranger. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Light, after all you've done, I would say you have earned a rest. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Aymeric while you were away. It would seem he's planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. Oh. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit. Are we just not speaking to Thancred? No. Are we just ignoring what happened at the end of the cutscene? Is that what's really happening right now?
He's on his own. He knows how to survive.
Pray, take some time to rest. I think I may as well. And should you decide to visit Sir Aymeric at the congregation, do be sure to give him my regards. Does Matoya have anything new to say?
That's it. Let's see. Oh, it is.
Has unrelated stuff to say.
Yes.
Go for it.
You've seen to the primal, have you? Very good. Mayhap I can now return to my own research without Stola barging in and asking me to hold her hand with every little thing. Aye, everyone's got in their head that there's some great shining utopia out there, just waiting for them to do the building. The Illuminati, those Auri treasure hunters, they were the first stubborn, starry-eyed buggers to come up with the idea, and, God's help me, they won't be the last. It's about Alexander.
Yeah. Which means we may have missed some dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
As in, if we hadn't killed Alexander, like, she probably had her own dialogue. But
or maybe just about
we
tea.
killed him. Yeah. Alright, let's get out of here.
So, welcome.
Let's step outside.
Graphics.
Let's step outside and see if Thancred is there. Do you have your Praga?
No. Enchanted familiar though it may be, kissing it will do nothing to alter its corporeal form. Where is it? Orogo, a product of Matoya's mind-altering magics, this particular familiar served the mistress for almost 50 summers, before becoming struck with a sense of wanderlust. Following several fetch quests into the wild, Matoya allowed it to accompany you on your journey.
Ah. It's an adventurer, Praga.
Yeah, look at him. So tiny.
So cute. Look at it. Ah.
So tiny.
I love his face. It's beautiful.
Trying to see his face. It's there. It's definitely there.
Mate. Alright. Although Afino intends to inform Tataru and Urianger of Minfilia's fate, he asks that you share with no one else what you have learned, especially Flamin. He then states that you have more than earned a rest, only to suddenly recall that he but recently received a missive from Sir Aymeric. It would seem that the Lord Commander is planning a ceremony of some sort and would like you to attend. However, he neglected to provide the details, and so a visit to the congregation appears to be in order. I wonder what it is.
I hope the Ish Guardians don't mind the frog going behind me.
Hopefully they don't think the frog is a heretic.
Yeah. Or that it should be eaten.
Yes.
Do you think it's actually not from Aymeric? It's like fake.
No. I think I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be the official end of the war, maybe, or it could be. I don't know. I'm excited. Let's go.
Going to the party. I should get excited. Yes.
Could be related to what's going to happen to the Holy See, or maybe what's going to happen to him, or maybe what's going to happen with House for Tom. I don't know. There's a lot that it could be.
Or maybe he just wants a company.
No.
No?
Ah, Master Duck. The Lord Commander left instructions that you were to be shown inside. Show me inside.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire. But if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. "'Tis nothing. 'Tis nothing." Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there, seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. It would not... Oh, and one more thing. A drink! We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
Thanks, Karma. I'm currently not looking for graphics. I make some simple graphics myself, and for the time being, I'm not looking for commissioning more. On that note, I do want to work on my stream more in the next year. So we'll see how things go. Now the question is there a dress code for a diplomatic meeting with dragons? What should I wear? Coat? Very nice, very elegant. Should I just go with the battle gear? Or... I could go in the classic sweater. Very elegant, but also a bit cold for the weather of Caritas. I could go with a jacket, also a little cold. Yeah, I don't know, maybe not. The poncho is always a good choice. But is it elegant enough for a diplomatic meeting? Should I just go as I always do? It's in my jacket. Well, don't forget to hydrate and stretch as we are just waiting for Lit to finish his cutscene.
I loved everything that happened.
Why is Aymeric so anxious? He's like,
I love everything.
And a drink. I'm gonna order you a drink. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't drink anyway.
So this is basically like it was one of the things that I said going into this. Mm-hmm. The end of the war. You know, it's a peace conference, which is I love it. I love the idea of having a peace conference. Mm-hmm. I love where it's like Die Hard or something. I love the idea of there's gonna be a terrorist attack. You know, we have to be ready for the Dragonians. They're gonna show up and they're gonna
Dragonians, yes.
Yeah, they're gonna come in and they're gonna wreck some shit. And we're basically like the Secret Service. We have to be there and make sure that we stop the terrorist attack.
No, I like that. I like that. It's like we're like the trusted friends. Like, you know, if things go sour, let's just be there.
Yeah. I love it. But Kuro.
Aymeric
is dead, right?
No, he survived.
As soon as he said as soon as Aymeric said, wait, you know what, buddy? It's been a long journey. It's been a long road. When all this is over, let's have a drink.
Uh-huh.
As soon as you said that, nah, you're dead. We're never gonna have that drink. That's the line. That's the line you say.
I've been afraid that he's gonna die for a long time now, and it's like, he survived so long. Are they really gonna kill him?
He survived a stabbing. What? Like, I agree. It's like, mate, if he survived a stabbing, let him live. But as soon as he said that he wants to have a drink afterwards, I can already see the scene where we're gonna, at the end of the expansion, we're gonna go to his tombstone and we're gonna have a drink. Yes, we're gonna drink at his grave. We're gonna say like, you made that. We're gonna have that drink with him at his grave. He's dead.
I mean, it would be very Final Fantasy, I would say.
It would be very fun. I mean, that's the thing. You don't make plans after a peace conference with potential terrorist attack. Okay, I mean that you're asking to die. It's.
But I don't want him to die. Like let us have some good ending to someone.
I know. That's the thing, right? I don't want him to die either because I love the idea of him reforming this city and leading it and becoming the new, like, not just Lord Commander, but the new leader of the city and the Holy See and everything, and all of them working together. But I got a bad feeling about this conference.
I mean, that's what I said. Like for a while, like I've been afraid that they're gonna kill him off sooner or later.
Yeah.
But it's just like just don't. No.
Well, at this point, I would say don't, because they've already had so many opportunities to kill him, and they chose not to. Like, the Pope could have killed him. Remember when he went in by himself to confront the Pope, and then he didn't die there. And then he got stabbed in a cutscene in the middle of a street, and then he didn't die there. We thought there he died straight up. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But he survived. He survived that as well. It's like, those would have been perfect opportunities to kill him off. And if we're not killing him off, then the writers have to have a reason for it. The writers have to. Obviously, they have something planned for him to do first, and he hasn't done anything yet.
This is where we go to the party, and he like chokes on wine and dies. Like, he could have a glorious death, but no, he went to a party.
If anyone's gonna kill him, it's gonna be like Nidhogg. Nidhogg's gonna show up. He's gonna show up. You know what's gonna happen? Oh,
because Eshtini was his best friend, if you remember.
Yeah. Eshtinian was his best friend. He's going to show up in Eshtinian form. He's going to show up in humanoid form, controlling Eshtinian and stab him through the stomach. It's going to be crazy.
Just don't kill him. It's like that's what can no character in this fucking game have any sort of happy ending? just yeah.
Let's go find out. Let's go, Kuro. Let's go.
I don't want to.
Predictions. Do you think he's going to die? Or do you think he's gonna make it through the party? Do you think he's gonna make it through the peace conference? Obviously, there's not gonna be peace at the peace conference. There's gonna be a fight. That's why we're there. Okay.
I think he's gonna leave. I'm saying it now. I think he's gonna leave.
Okay. I want him to live, but I think he's gonna die.
I have a bad feeling too, but I'm gonna say he's gonna leave.
I'm gonna. Alright. For this, I'm gonna be the gun breaker. I need a gun. If I'm gonna protect a peace conference, I need a gun. Okay.
Don't worry, you're not gonna shoot it in a cutscene anyway. Like,
I'm not.
I could use my bow, or I could stare at the characters and do nothing.
I need my gun. Let's go. Lucia, I hope you're ready. Shit's about to go down.
It is, one way or another, huh? The Lord Commander said you would come, Mielikka. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. Relief? The masons labor day and night and to see it finished on schedule.
Oh.
Sir Aymeric wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with the result.
It's gonna be like a logo, like combining like a dragon
Yeah,
with like the
like
Ishgarian symbol or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
They're gonna uncover it and it's actually something else. It was not my war, but I made it mine. And to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you.
Oh boy.
Lucia, give us strength.
Lucia is concerned that you seem to be looking for something to do.
Yes, that is concerning. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Arthurien and Malaine, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Good to know that the kids are here as well.
Yeah. Low-born youth.
How are you?
Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Aymeric was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it.
Oh no.
I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. And that's why he's gonna die.
No, yeah, that's like such a setup. He's gonna have a speech and then he's gonna get shot.
He's gonna get sniped by a dragon. The dragon is gonna be propped up on a tower with a sniper rifle and shoot him in the face.
No! Aymeric, why?
They're setting it's so obvious that they shouldn't do it. They shouldn't kill him, but they're setting it up so hard.
Yeah, I want them to not do it just because they're setting it now. Yeah, it's too much. It's just too much. It's like you know it's gonna happen.
Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand. We've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past. So hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Now, do you think they would go as far as to have the younger brother be a part of it?
In what way?
In the death of Sir Aymeric. They've been alluding. They've been throughout the past couple of quest lines. They've been alluding to something going on with the brothers of the House Fortom. I don't want the eldest brother to turn evil.
I don't think he will. I mean, he may. That's a problem. But like, I don't think he will.
Yeah.
But I think something may happen to the younger brother because if you remember, like last we saw him, like just randomly in Ishgard, he was like very quiet. Like he isn't normally like that. Like something is wrong with him.
Yeah. So there's stuff going on with the brothers. Right. Oh look, this guy has the same gear as me.
Oh, he does. Do we want to talk to the brothers first?
Sure. Artarel. Taking a stroll around the hamlet. Very good. Very good. We shall speak anon. Okay.
We're speaking now.
I meant like...
He's in here.
Still here, old boy. This isn't really the time. I wonder why.
Yeah, why does he have battle gear? He never wears it.
Hands up against the wall. We suspect you of sniping the Lord Commander.
Yeah, you're gonna be put to jail for being suspect of wanting to do something weird.
Yes. You're gonna be in jail until the peace conference is over, okay?
Yeah, we take you into custody.
Yes. Oh my god. Right. On the right. I will do my utmost to keep him out of trouble, but I may require your assistance later.
Oh no, Honorain, we know. Honorain, we know. Just give us a signal. We'll be there.
We'll tackle him to the ground.
Kids, just we gotta stay close, okay? It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a reason why both of them. One of them is gonna turn. I really don't want it to be Artorel.
Yeah, I want Artorel to stay like very responsible. Cause like that's the thing, he was always very responsible.
Yeah, I don't want him to turn on his dad. Oh, I suppose we came a bit early, didn't we? Nevertheless, better early than late. The bomb's about to go off.
I'm just looking at her dress, and I cannot imagine this being warm.
The neck area I think would be warm. Like it's floofy.
Yeah, but the front.
You know? Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Like I feel cold just looking at her.
Everything looks to be in order. Is order miss? What do you do here? Keep watch for dragons and heretics. What else? You never know when the enemy might strike. It is my duty to ensure the reconstruction of Valken's Nest proceeds apace. To that end, our craftsmen must be able to work without fear for their safety. We've spoken to this guy before. It's unrelated.
We go inside? This is the guy we smuggled stuff for.
Yeah. Not that Are there any heretics in here? Huh? Okay. Let's go speak to Redwald.
I'm dreading this quest.
I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Master Duck. And fear not, I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. No, it's never in order.
No, it's not in order.
My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over... I feel like it would be pretty important to tell the convictors about this. I feel like this is important. This is very important.
Kind of important, yeah. To be fair, she made it here the first time. So.
May pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference.
I have a feeling like they're not gonna like the idea of not slaying the dragon, you know? Just a feeling.
My, how much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? If you had known me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you were a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. And here I am, laboring to make it so. That's good. Keep it up.
Good work.
Thank you for the follow, Bodrick. Thank you.
Lord Artriel, if I may.
Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service?
Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest.
Fury take me. They would defy Sir Aemric's commands if they dare attack Vidofnir.
It will not come to that. But to see that it does not, we must needs hasten to their encampment. they should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a Lord of House Fortune present.
I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Elaine while I am away? Oh. As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child, but recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long.
So Arthur is dead?
No. Well, I think there should be an attack while they're gone, right?
Yeah, maybe. But also...
That would make the most sense.
Also, like, I don't know how the presence of Arthur is supposed to help.
Because if you remember, they're all nobles trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah,
so
but
they
they're
respect
like
nobles.
They're like low nobles, so they don't care about the high nobles. They're actually angry at them.
Oh. Hello.
Oh.
Hello, Bodrick. Hello.
Oh.
Welcome. A cub. I don't have anything for you, but thank you. Thank you. Is there a /thank? I'll just bow.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, Bodrick.
We have a little tiger now.
Tabiaco. Hold on. Let's bring the tigers out. Let's bring the tigers out.
Well, I have to find it. Let's see.
While not the actual progeny of the 1,000-year-old Auspice Lord, this eponymous recreation in newborn form is sought after by Hingans, hoping to see their luck turn for the better.
He didn't want me to feed him. He looked away. I was trying to feed him.
How are you enjoying the story? It's been a lot of fun. There've been some highs and there've also been some lows. This is our first time experiencing the story of Heavensward, and it's taking us a while. I say Heavensward or Final Fantasy. We started playing the campaign like 2 years ago. Is it 2 years, Kuro?
Yeah, 2 years.
It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years, and I'm already level 90.
Yeah,
but
and we're just finished Heavensward and doing post Heavensward stuff.
Yeah, we're slowly getting through it all. It's just that we read all the quests, we do all the side quests, like we try and do everything we can. We do all the raids and we do all the content basically available to us.
Yeah. And then we do more off stream.
Yeah, and we do more off stream. We do all the beast tribes and the dailies and the mount farms. The way that we're doing it basically is we're doing everything that we can experience in each expansion first, and then we're moving on to the next one, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been here for a while.
We've been here for a while. It's a pretty good description of this.
90, but still in Heavensward. Sounds like you've done heaps, mate. Thank you. Yes, we've done. I mean, you can see here if you're interested. Classes here, like I'm 84 Carpenter, 84 Blacksmith, like 89 Culinarian.
It's like is pretty good at games.
Like we've been doing quite a bit, and there's still a lot to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it's been good. I say it's been good. Right now, we're anticipating. We're a little bit worried. We're about to enter a peace conference, and we're pretty sure that Sir Aymeric is gonna die. Something wrong is gonna happen. We don't know what. We're not looking forward to it. We don't want Sir Aymeric to die. We don't want Arthorel to die, but someone's gonna die.
Something's gonna happen. Like
something wrong is gonna happen. We don't know what.
Okay, hold on. Line. Do you think Vidofnir is gonna die?
No.
That would be huge. But I don't think they can do it, right?
I wouldn't care as much if Vidofnir died.
no, but what I mean is that like if Vidofnir died, then like the whole peace conference would be forfeit.
True.
And it would it would just cause another war, essentially.
I mean, if Sir Aymeric died, it would probably cause another war as well.
Yeah.
Because he's the symbol of the future. He's the symbol of hope. And if he dies, then everyone's going to be like, see? Like, clearly we can't trust the dragons and all this stuff. I'll lurk. It's okay. Thank you for the pets. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the tigers. For the kittens.
Yes.
They're rolling in the snow. Cute.
They're beautiful. All right. Honorate?
Does he have something new?
Was that Lord Artoriel leaving with the first commander just now? See, I'm worried too.
Yeah, alright. We're gonna just stand here next to the guy.
Emmanuel is less than his usual effervescent self.
What does that mean?
I'm rather busy at the moment, old boy. Guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Artoriel thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But, since you are here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guest to be devoured by wolves, oh no. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the coming packs. I'm pretty sure he's sending us out on purpose.
He is.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't want us here.
He's literally doing...
He's full...
I just want to say, I think we are smarter than this.
Yeah, he's so full of shit right now. He's like, can you go kill some wolves? Excuse me? We're here to protect a peace conference and you want us to kill some wolves?
No, actually, we are guests. Yeah. We are technically guests. Yeah. We are not even employed here. We are guests.
Your map, if I may. Right there. The furthest point from here.
Yeah, you know this guy, this thing in the lake. Yeah, this part.
Yeah,
this
he
part.
marks like the edge of the map. He marks the edge of right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it, old boy. Come, Honorite. I must return to my rounds.
All right, we're not doing this.
Oh dear. Be careful, my lord.
We are smarter than this. Look, this quest specifically is insult to my intelligence.
Yeah. We pretend they are baby Bodricks. Oh, okay. all good. Nothing sus here at all. Nothing is more threatening to the peace talk than some wolves over yonder. Right? There's a peace talk and he wants us to travel out into the wilderness. Like, oh my god.
And we agree to it. That's my problem. This is one of these quests where it's like, oh yeah, you have to agree to this so we can progress the story. But like, it makes no logical sense for me to agree to this.
To be fair, it's one of those things where this is like, especially if this is a quest designed to make sure that we're not there for something to happen, they can write it in such a way where maybe Emmanuel is a little bit more deceptive, like, but in a smart way, like a little bit more convincing, you know, that like,
but he's not
convincing. Maybe there's something. Yeah, but like maybe he's like, yo, like we just lost a scouting party out there, and you know we heard that House Durandere or whatever is coming through from the Forelands or whatever, and like we need to go out there. I know, just make some shit up, you know? Something convincing.
I don't think Emmanuel can make anything convincing as he's known as the guy of rumors. Like, really, there's nothing to write there.
There's plenty to write there, Let's go.
Yeah, as Emperor Fu was saying, honestly, this quest must break any and every attempt at RP. How could your characters be this dumb? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I'm kind of hoping that the character you love so much is actually in on the conspiracy. No, there's no way. There's no way.
He's not. It's actually not. why couldn't guards do this? This is an easy job. Do you think when we get there, do you think he's not even gonna be there?
We'll see. I expect him to be missing. I expect him to be missing for some reason.
Because he went on his rounds as we weren't there. So he's
we'll see.
most likely.
Thank God you're killing these wolves so the dragons at the treaty are safe.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
Okay, he's still here. I still
don't trust you.
A terrible imposition though it was, I'm relieved that my lord did not think to tend to the wolves by himself.
I would actually prefer that, to be fair.
Light Duck, Wolves Bane. It pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds and that all is well in the Falcon's Nest. He just finished planting his bombs around the
I was
city.
gonna say that's exactly what it sounds like. But I have a little bit of faith in Honorine that he would actually see that happening.
He would tell us.
And he would tell us. He would tell us.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made that arsonist confess. Clever that. Was that Thancred?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Clever that. Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there.
I'm on the lane.
Why are you sending out people?
Those are guests. I'm on the lane. I suppose we could simply wait here for a friend to return, but if you're feeling impatient, you are free to go and look for him. I don't want to look for him, you know? Thancred can take care of himself.
Can take care of himself.
He literally survived on his own in Dravania. I'm pretty sure he's fine.
You poisoned one sultan and now everyone's a murderer, mate. Everyone. No, just maybe a Menelain, okay? He's either like incompetent or he's suspicious and he's up to something.
I think he's suspicious because even he isn't this incompetent.
Yeah.
Like it's not about competence. I think he's smarter than that. Like he's lazy, but he's not stupid.
All right. Hopeful heretic.
Wait, where?
Stay your weapons. We come in peace. Lady Iceheart told us tales of Vidofnir. If she would trust in Sir Aymeric, then we too would hear what he has to say. But the wolves caught us unawares. Were it not for this man, we would have surely died. Alright, Thancred. Fancy meeting you here, Light. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Yes, exactly. We're on the same page. We
are guests.
Let us return to Falcon's Nest then, and see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us.
But see, this is exactly what we just proved. Thancred is more than capable of taking care of himself. Why are we here? Thrilling tasks, yes, exactly.
Oh boy.
The writers really are having fun with us being triggered.
I'm ready to lock up Menelain, okay?
It's like every time it's like, no, we're gonna set you on another quest. Just wait a bit more.
Look, we're supposed to be security at the peace conference. I want to stay at the peace conference, okay?
Exactly. Like, why would we agree to anything he says? Anything.
Thancred. It's always the younger one. Every time, without fail.
Wait,
right?
What are you? What is he referring to?
He's talking about the younger brother.
Yeah, but is that like a reference to someone else?
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, how wonderful! You found Master Thancred. As ever, I could not help but fear the worst. Menelain. And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them, comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice, have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests? On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. I don't think you have the power to say that, but okay.
He also never speaks like that.
And with that, there is naught left to do but to enjoy our well-earned respite. Give me a potion. Alright. I'm sorry, my lord. I truly am. Okay. Thancred. Oh. Emmanuel.
Huh.
Emmanuel seems rather pleased with himself.
Did he poison the wine?
Like, we're getting like some major red wedding vibes here, you know?
No, but like, see, remember what I was saying? We're like, Emric survived so long, he's gonna choke on the wine. Maybe he poisoned the fucking wine.
It's not gonna. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, and this should, of course, go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Atarel wouldn't understand. Right then. The first floor of these barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go there and have something to eat? Ah, for once, a suggestion which I can agree. Go on ahead, Light. I'll join you anon.
No.
Oh, cutscene?
Oh boy. I'm scared.
Oh my god.
Why is there someone on the ground already?
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Afraid food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
You all right, my friend? You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs.
This was never your fight.
my son. They told me he walks in Halone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future. My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do, makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Falcon's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping. Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters! Remember it! And strike back!
just stand around gawping. Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
What have you done? I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
Shh, if I pretend I'm dead, they're not gonna notice me.
Good.
I'm actually triggered by this whole cutscene.
What the hell just happened? Like, I'm a little bit confused as to what happened to the tavern, right? Like, if we were gonna get poisoned, sure, but apparently she just put people to sleep.
Yeah,
like, what's the point of that?
She drugged us specifically.
I assumed that other people were drugged. That's why they were falling in the street. That's why they were falling down.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah. Didn't you see a bunch of people falling down? Like, I
thought
assumed that everyone.
I thought there was already fighting.
No. There was no fighting. There was no visual like conflict.
Okay.
Which is why the people that were falling down were just people that were also drugged. Which means what was the point of people getting drugged? If they weren't going to kill everyone, then what was the point of drugging us?
I don't know.
That's what I mean. That's why Emperor said it. He's like, convenient that she didn't kill you while we were sleeping. Well, she didn't kill anyone. No one died. No one was killed except for her. It's like what was the point of the drugging? Like I'm
just triggered by this whole thing because, as you said, we were like watching over Emma Lane, and they were like, "Nah, yeah, we're gonna go get a drink." Like, never. Look, I don't drink in the first place, but even then.
Yeah, and And as it was happening, I was saying to the chat, I was like, okay, Emma either has to be stupid or in on it to intentionally have her shot to make her a martyr. But then you saw his reactions, and then it's like, well, it looks like I guess he's just stupid.
No, yeah, I agree with I agree with what Emperor Fubu said. I mean, he could have not planned for his archer to be a crap shot. I mean, yeah.
It's I guess true.
But I think it was honest actually. I think it was honest that it's like, oh yeah, like he because he always like, because I feel like the whole point of the lead up quest where he never takes responsibility and just makes other people do things. Yeah. So like he also like commanded him to do something, but like he didn't know what he's gonna do. Like he didn't give any specific order.
Yeah. But so I'm just straight up confused as to what the point of the drugging was. So I guess no one dies. I feel like there was a lot of tension leading up to that scene, but I feel like we didn't really get much out of it. Other than, of course, like maybe the peace treaty is completely fucked. But Aymeric is alive.
Yeah, I'm glad this all happens before Aymeric is here.
Yeah, Aymeric is alive. He didn't die yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't call it too quickly. Don't call it too quickly.
He's not dead yet. He's not dead yet.
Yeah. But
okay, inside.
Hold on, but like, it's just. Yeah, I don't agree with the writing on this questline.
Yeah. I agree. I think this was really done in a really. It feels a little bit sloppy with what just happened.
Like it's very forced, as in like it forces your character into situations you would not end up with.
I'm annoying. He's not saying it. I thought we were gonna get some dialogue. But yeah.
Thank you for that, Emma. I'm glad you're okay. I thought we were kidnapped, but okay.
out here. Emerisal. She seemed like such a nice girl. Always greeted me with a smile when she passed. Never would have guessed she had it in her. Well, she didn't do anything though. Like she said a speech, sure, but like she didn't.
I mean, it was a passionate speech. Hold on, there's a highball merchant.
Yeah, speak to the merchant. What was that fool of a lordling thinking? What did he think would happen? Do you have anything to say?
No.
This was about that damn protest. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
No, fair enough. I would not either.
Lowborn youth.
Are you swayed?
Gods, how could I have been so foolish? She was right.
Of course he would be swayed. Why am I not surprised?
Right. 7 hells. The least he could have done is stop the bloody fool before he shot the second arrow. True.
I mean, true. But as we know, he's not very good at things.
Yeah. I still don't know what to think about him. Can I speak with Redwald? I know he has a quest, but no. Corset?
What?
Is this related?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, was there fighting? So is there someone upstairs?
Yeah, we didn't see any fighting.
Yeah, those were fighting. They were fighting. See, she said this has to be the end of it. Casualties at the peace conference. Fury, take me.
She may just be talking about the girl that just got shot.
I guess, maybe.
Yeah, like we didn't see any fighting, so I'm assuming that's just the girl who got shot.
Okay.
Yes, this is an airship landing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you not hear what was happening?
No. She was upstairs. She didn't see it.
Thank you.
Where's? Oh, hold on. Where is this here?
I think that's everyone.
Do you have something to say? No. Okay. Never mind.
Okay. Speak to Thancred.
I'm coming.
I dare say, That could not have played out any worse. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
We expected it to be worse.
Yes, we did expect it to be worse.
Given that the first commander and Lord Atarel are not here to take control of the situation, I spoke with a messenger who said they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Emmeline has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure that order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. We just did that.
Tancred, we're ahead of you.
Yeah, Tancred, this is done. Okay, we literally spoke to everyone.
Also, Tancred, it was your idea to go for a drink. Just want to point that out.
My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The Chirogians tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything, and for what?
So it does sound like there was fighting.
Maybe there was. I mean, they were at least running away from something, so maybe there was fighting. I don't know. Let's see.
See, we missed these people.
Yeah. They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? That their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them, and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can.
Yeah, there will be others. That's the problem with this whole thing.
Spirited Stonecutter.
I'd heard rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Emeric take their bloody change and shove it up their arses, and not be taken in it by the rot again.
Up on.
Just quietly being triggered. Emperor Fu will say, I know there is a lot going on, but you better go hunt some wolves.
That's true. There are wolves out there. We have to make sure that everyone is safe. Well, what say you? So, the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Ah, it comes back to Minfilia.
It does, but in a very poor way.
Yes, we still haven't spoken to you about it, Tancred. We need to speak about
Yes,
that.
we will, but also, it's like, yeah, the words resonated because they all want revenge. I'm like, yeah, but you want revenge against a specific group, not the whole fucking race. That's the whole problem with this idea. It's like hating a nation because somebody wronged you. Well,
extremist. I'm just looking to see what the weapons look like.
Oh.
Okay. Tancred would like nothing more than to leave Falcon's Nest behind. I feel like we should wait for Atorel. I feel like we shouldn't leave right now.
Yeah. Also, why is Frankett here in the first place?
So that we were invited. Lord Atorel and the first commander should have returned by now. Oh. Uh-oh. To the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Emmeline, and I somehow doubt that he has moved an illness since last we saw him.
Before he's not there.
Oh no, they're back. And then Elaine says nothing. Artorel. Oh boy. Fury take me. What a disaster. I should never have left. Lucia. As a writer, I think Thancred is here to be the aged, worldly big brother Emmeline lacks. But Thancred didn't have an interaction with Emmeline for that. But maybe. I mean, if you mean being here in general, maybe. I don't know. Go for it, Kuro.
My apologies, Mielikka. I bear full responsibility for this debacle.
There will be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we know?
According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Amalain ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive. Others resisted and were struck down. Still, others took their own lives.
Damn.
Yeah, we missed
crazy.
all of that.
That's crazy. They killed themselves.
Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still, more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being at least. The Trojans are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night.
Given their impeccable timing, it is like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. Oh. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlets is any indication, theirs have been the more fruitful labors. In the wake of the protest, the people seem disillusioned.
Someone's on the phone. You spoke with them then? I see. Sir Aymeric placed his trust in me. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here.
Remember how far we have come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and will do so again. If we can but find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. Yes, we need to push another little girl off another building and have a dragon catch her. We just need to do that again.
We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference, pending Sir Aymeric's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Mielikka, will you deliver my report to Lord Commander in my stead?
Get up, Emmeline. You're going with him. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Honorite.
He called him my lord.
Your manservant is not here.
Oh,
in fact, I have not seen him for some time. Don't say that Honorite was... One, don't make him evil, but also don't kill him. Oh my god.
No, he's probably kidnapped and they're gonna use him as bait, and Emmeline is gonna have like a whole arc where he has to save him.
Yeah, that would make sense. Honorite? Honorite? I could have sworn he was. It would make sense to use his squire to force him to grow up, right? Like to force him to mature. Just because Honorite is like his little bro. All right, which one first? Goodbye.
Well, my throat is giving up on me. Hey, Lucia. Lucia?
Yeah.
Once I have determined that my presence is no longer required, I will return to the capital as well. Pray give my regards to the Lord Commander.
But I too had best remain here for a time. I should hope that the worst has passed, but it is too early to say for certain.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Tankred.
Oh boy.
But there's Tankred here.
Do you have anything interesting to say? Odd. The boy struck me as the rather devoted type. The reason would he have to leave his master unattended for so long? What reason?
He's either kidnapped or they did something to him.
He's kidnapped or he's dead. I don't believe that he would be in league with them. That'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't think he would actually. Because he was always like trying to get Emmeline out of trouble. Like he actually cared for him.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make much sense.
Oh.
Onawa! No! What have they done to you? Onawa! Onawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Onawa?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Kairoujian without delay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
Laokupa. Hello?
Hello.
I like how Thancred stopped us from punching him just to punch him himself.
Yeah, that was supposed to be. But that is my problem with this cinematic. Like, sorry, I keep saying that, like, this whole Emanuele, like, quest part, I don't feel what they want my character to feel. Like, I did not feel like punching him. I did not feel angry at him. I was actually like, yeah, there was no good choice for him. Because if he does nothing, she's gonna convince people. If he does something, she's gonna convince... Like, there was no, like, good choice for him there. Like, sure, he didn't handle it well, but, like, it was a difficult situation. So, like, I wouldn't be angry at him, and I would not hit him either. That's even worse. So, like, this cinematic was very, like, bad in terms of my own character for me.
It was, for me, I would say that a lot of what he was saying was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot that just like was thrown on us. Like the fact that for some reason, we learned how to say his name. Was it Honore? Honore? Yeah. Honor. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, apparently he was, like, attacked, like, out here in the middle of nowhere. Like, what? It was just really random that apparently he was, like, trying to stop people from leaving or something. And then we thought he died for a moment, and it's like, no, he didn't. He's fine. Oh, okay. So
I was gonna say, he didn't look dead, but yeah.
Yeah, but then suddenly he just, like, passed out. And it's like, what is happening right now? Did he get stabbed? We don't know. Yeah. Like, I think the way that Thancred responded was fine, and I like it. Just because obviously, like, because of what he just went through, like, he just lost someone, and that still hasn't been addressed. But, like, I guess this is how they're gonna address him. I doubt we're gonna have a one-on-one conversation with him. But yeah, in general, it just feels really jarring. This whole situation feels really jarring because I understand what they wanted. I understand what they were going for overall. Like, something to disrupt the peace conference. But I feel like the execution here was really lacking. In a lot of ways. Just because there's a lot of confusion as to what was happening, and the diffusion of the situation as well seems very quick. It felt like there was a lot of tension leading up to this quest. There was a lot of tension leading up to the cinematic of us passing out. Up until that moment, it's like, damn, like, obviously we knew something wrong was going to happen. What was going to happen? We don't know. Is the food poisoned? Is the drinks poisoned? Are people going to attack? Are bombs going to go off because bombs exist in this world? Like, we don't know. And then the overall, like, the event itself feels really... Yeah, I don't know. No, the event itself... Yeah, exactly. The event itself seems really jumbled and confused and vague. Like, we don't know what the fuck happened. We don't know what happened, We didn't even know if people died, and apparently they did. Apparently there was fighting, that we don't know about. Apparently there was a protest going on, and who was left in charge and what was happening, and like it's like, yeah, I don't know. It feels really messy in execution, and this could have been so good. This could have been so much better. I think we were both expecting something better. Just because it was so obvious and the lead up was so obvious. It's like, yeah, sure, it's fine. It's kind of cringe how like we're listening to the guy, how we're just leaving to go and kill wolves and all this stuff, and it's all kind of sus, and clearly something wrong is going to happen. But the event itself felt lacking overall.
Like even like you don't need to like include like Emmerich and stuff. Like it doesn't have to be this big, but still like something more specific could have happened.
Something more clear.
Yeah.
I think is better. Yeah.
But I still think that like that's like one big problem, and my other big problem is the behavior of the player character. Like I really, it really makes no sense to me. And like it kind of like takes me out of the immersion because I don't feel the things that writers want me to.
You know what would have been better if what happened here with Honoroi, if that happened in the cutscene. I think it would have been more impactful if you know how there's at the very end of it, there's a scene where everyone looks at Em and Elaine like with like disdain or disgust. It would have been better
if you like defended him.
Yes. If that happens, and then you see the crowd turn on Em and Elaine, because apparently like there's like chaos and there's some fighting going on and stuff. You see the crowd turn on him, like not just the protesters, but also like maybe some guards or whatever, whatever the fuck. And then Honorite is there, and he's there to defend him, to protect him. And then he gets hurt and injured as a result, and we get to see that, and we get to see Em and Elaine's like reaction to all of that. Like I feel like that would have just been.
That would make so much sense. I was surprised when we found him in the tavern in the first place, because like the last scene we see is like the crowd turning on him.
Yeah. Like that. That's why I say that it felt a little bit like jumbled and a little bit messy and vague, because it feels like there's an important event that should happen after the crowd looks at him. And then it cuts to him in the tavern. It's like there's something missing there.
Yeah.
And because there's that like jump cut, it like diffuses the situation, and it takes away a lot of the tension as well that we just had. Because it's like, oh, okay, I guess nothing happened. It's like, oh, okay, I guess they just looked at him, and then he just walked away. It's like, what? Like
he just walked past them into the tavern somehow.
Yeah.
I
whereas
agree, that
all
was
of this
weird.
could have been. Yeah. So like this, yeah. It could have been better.
I'm still upset about the player character thing though.
Sure.
Because I like part of why I play games like this is for the role play. So if I cannot role play, if like my role playing has absolutely doesn't matter, that's like the core of the game for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why earlier I was saying that like these events can still happen, like just
but they need
as long
better
as
reason.
they need just better writing and better reason for things to happen, better reasons for us to be away. Like I would have thought we would have gone to the Convictors, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And I would have thought that we would have to go to the Convictors, and then things would happen, and then we would come back afterwards or as it's happening. I'm pretty sure something like a very similar thing happened at the end of A Realm Reborn, right? With the Sultana. If you remember, we were sent on a quest. I think we were told that like Mimodi, right? Or Momodi. She was like asking for us, or she had something for us to do, and then we find out that we were lied to, and she was like, "Hold on, that's not like I wasn't asking for you. What's going on?" And then we rush back into the palace. We rush back into the Sultana's quarters, and then everything's happening without us, right? Like we're not there. That's why there's tension going on, and like even though we've already done it, it would have been better if they do something similar here, just because like there's a reason why that works, right?
Yeah, I mean,
just because
like the Convictors didn't need to be like a fake, like there were Convictors, but like as I said, like back when it was happening, it made no sense for me that Arthuriel would be the one to like go and convince them. Yeah. So like it would make more sense if they were like, oh yeah, you know the Convictors, right? You interacted with them, maybe you can convince them. That would make sense.
Yeah. and that would have it would have made more sense if we were away compared to us getting like poisoned, because again, like there's still a lot of like vagueness around like we were poisoned but we weren't killed, we just went to sleep, like what? Like
and
like,
besides
what's
that, like
happening here?
we were sent here. Sure, we were guests, but Aymeric literally told us that he's worried something is gonna happen, and basically he needs us to be his ears and eyes, essentially.
Yeah.
And our first thought is to go and get a drink. It's like, really?
Yeah, that's what I mean as to like there should have been a better reason for us to be
Yeah.
occupied with something. Alright, let's go. Let's get out of here. I will take him to the Kyrugians. That's what they said that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's the least I can do. Alright, let's go.
Hold on. No, hold on. I need to put my... Hold on. There you go. I did not mean to hit you. It's all Thancred. No, because I do think it's wrong. Because that's exactly what was wrong with the protest. That it's violence for the sake of violence. So why should I be violent against Emanane?
No. Because he was freaking out. I was on board, and I thought that I was gonna slap him. I thought I was just gonna slap him so I can like get his attention and be like, mate, calm down. All right, look, shit is going down right now.
That
okay,
did not look. I don't know what it looked like in your animation, but my animation did not look like I was about to slap him. It looked like I wanted to stab him on that animation. I'm like, no.
In my animation, it looked like I was gonna punch him in the face. But I thought in that moment, the moment would have been to slap him.
Yeah, that would be fine. That would be fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
It didn't look like that. It looked way too aggressive.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Because like it looked like our character is like angry at him. Not that like he realizes that he's freaking out and like he's trying to stop it, but like just that we are like triggered in anger, which makes it worse because it's basically we're like the same as him.
Yeah. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. That's why you slapped them, okay?
I think I deserved that one because he did punch him, so he just punched back. That was fair.
I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. But he...
Okay, what do we have here? Oh yes, the weapons I cannot use. What is this?
You can glamour the sword if you like the sword, the samurai sword.
I really like the sword. I'm gonna get the sword just because I can. Maybe it will be useful for something.
I'm just gonna desynthesize them.
Okay.
Oh, more weapons. Oh, what does the pug look like? Oh my god!
Hold on, the pug?
The pug weapon is actually shiny. It's the only shiny one.
Oh my. That's fun.
I was checking and none of the others shine like that. Which is kind of weird.
That one's fun. I'd use it.
Thancred has lost all patience with Lord Emanane. I have no desire to wait for the Lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. We do. Oh boy.
Maybe we should just drag him.
Okay.
Like, because what Arthurius said was fair, that we should drag him in front of Aymeric.
Yeah.
Just fucking put us on our chocobo. Just let's go. He can't be that strong.
But at least Aymeric didn't die.
He didn't. That is true.
He didn't die. I think I would have liked it if he had died.
No.
There's so many other things that they could have done with that event.
Yeah.
And it ended with Honoroi getting beat up. He didn't even die. I would like
Look.
during the cutscene, I think I was talking to Chad about how it would make sense for Honoroi to die just because that. I think I was talking to you about it. Just because like that would be a way to mature Elaine, if his squire had died, or if something had if something happens to him, like it makes sense.
It does.
Let's go upstairs. You are expected, sir. Pray proceed.
Oh boy. So where's M? God damn it.
Count the oh, the count is here. Oh boy. we received troubling reports from Falcon's Nest. What befell you there?
Oh, a lot. Apparently, I went for a drink.
Oh boy. Okay. Words of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you. Outstripped you, Light. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. 'Tis rumored that my youngest's lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? Oh. Why am I looking at Thancred?
Yeah, why am I looking at Thancred? Screw you, Thancred. Why was he even there?
I see. So that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war, and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we naught to show for our suffering? I thought peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmund, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past without being beholden to it, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorifying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But, as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy, and an undeniably righteous cause. 'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long to serve to unite us. I mean, that's why I assumed that we were just going to announce, like, yo, we're gonna make peace with Vidofnir and Freylsgar, and we're gonna like announce war onto Nidhogg. Like Nidhogg is still out. Remember Nidhogg? Does anyone here remember Nidhogg and Einstein? You know?
This is my problem with this whole thing, that it seems like nobody like got the memo that like there's more than one fraction of the dragons.
Yeah. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet, we are not without options.
They're gonna fight against the Empire. To have new.
It's gonna be Nidhogg. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Eorzean Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee. We're gonna make a tournament?
Yes! That will solve everything.
Let's go hunt down some wolves.
I heard the wolves are a big problem in this area.
I think the wolves would be more, you know, that it just, yeah, it'd serve us better. I don't know. Mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nation's finest. Hosted by Ishgard, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true. But if we should be defeated, though, even to hold our own against the cream of three nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well. You may count on my support, for what little it is worth. However, I have a request. I would have my son... what? I would have my son, Elaine, take part in the grand melee. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor.
Okay.
As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose, Light. Would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once, and begin making arrangements for the Grand Melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me.
I'm glad you're here, Thancred. To just stand and stare at us as we talk.
It makes no sense for Thancred to be in that room.
I
don't think they've even been. Have they even been introduced to Thancred? Do they know who he is?
I don't think the Lord ever was introduced. I don't think the Count.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, they haven't been introduced.
Yeah, I'm glad you're sticking around, Thancred, to say absolutely nothing and just stare at us. You could have like looked after M, but I guess he's tired of him.
So, is that their solution? A grand melee to unite the people? And what part would they have you play in this affair? I wonder. You whom they have taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come to so heavily to rely. And will you oblige them when the proposition is made? Will you stand for Ishgard once more? Yeah, sure, I'll stand for them.
Why do you sound so salty, Thancred?
We have come this far, have we not? I will stand for my friends and comrades, not a nation. It is getting to be a bit much, isn't it? And I guess the first one?
The thing is, like, my friends and comrades suggest that, what is his name? That the High Commander is not a friend, but he's my friend.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Imrik is my friend at this point, so like his nation, like he is the nation in a way because he's the leader.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we are here and we're serving Aymeric and we're serving House Fortom, and that's basically Ishgard right now, especially because the Pope is dead.
Yeah.
Like Aymeric is literally the leader of this nation. It's like, I mean...
So, like, he is my friend, and, like, if somebody else asked me, I probably wouldn't care, but because he's my friend, I'm doing this. But, like, he's also the leader of the nation, so I'm not sure what you want, Thancred.
Yeah.
So I guess first?
I guess so. First. Well, when you put it like that, I suppose it would be a shame not to see it through to the bitter end. So, with this grand melee of his, Sir Aymeric wishes to field a force comprising both of his Temple Knights and Hilda's Watch, yes? I can only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go and see for myself. I just want to see her.
Have fun. You two will get along pretty well.
Lucia.
Well met, Mielikka. Have you spoken with Sir Aymeric? I was aware of the Alliance's requests. So, Sir Aymeric would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions. And these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch... Did he now? How considerate of Master Tancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda. I would have her best man, not her most dispensable.
Lucia. Okay. She's busy.
As she should be.
She should
She's
be.
actually doing work, unlike some people.
Not gonna lie, again, I am not invested in this tournament at all.
No.
Like, there's stuff that just happened with Minfilia.
I understand that there would be one way to unite a nation, to have something that can rally for.
Yeah. Remember Einstein? Like, remember
Who's
Nidhogg?
Einstein?
You know? Like, what? Like, there's other stuff happening.
Look,
you know?
Aymeric is trying his best, okay?
Uh-huh. His best friend was possessed. What do you mean?
Look, he only has so many tools he can work with.
It's his best friend. It's his boy. We should be out there looking for him.
I mean, no, but to be fair, like, it will be hard for him to do anything with Estinian when he has, like, a civil war at home.
No, that's why, like I said it before. Like, I mean, he said it himself. How do you unite a people? Well, you give them a common adversary. What's the common adversary? Nidhogg. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If I was there, I wouldn't have suggested a grand melee. It is a way to do it, sure, but I feel like unifying against still a massive threat to the nation, and also someone who is just taking control of the Azure Dragoon, who also happens to be your best friend. Like shit. Like that's not just important. Like that's not the reason why I keep bringing it up, but it's also a reason to unite everyone. It's a reason for everyone to still like harness their hatred for dragons and still be able to like be able to direct it in a relatively healthy way, like out towards somewhere that it like deserves to be directed towards.
Maybe they don't want people to know, because I don't know if people know that Nidhogg was reborn.
Well, they know that the Azure Dragoon's not in town.
Yeah, but he could have just died. He could have just died, but like maybe they don't want people to know that, because they call us the Nidhogg Slayer, so in their mind Nidhogg is dead, and Azure Dragon, maybe he just died killing the dragon.
Regardless of whether they think he's dead or not, and what they know or don't know about Nidhogg, that was never addressed by Aymeric, and that is at least what I want is for that to be addressed. So I wouldn't accept any other kind of like post-talk explanation about it, like when he should be addressing it, because I feel like it's important enough for him to do so.
Fair.
All right, thank you. I thought you had something to discuss with the first commander. Oh, okay. Bloody fool. Doesn't realize he'll have to sit this one out. If all the watch ran off with Sir Aymeric to play soldier, who'd be left to keep an eye on things here? True. Sim. Huzzah! We've been spoiling for a fight. Won't let Sir Aymeric down, you'll see. Okay. Hilda.
Banker has been telling me all about Sir Aymeric's grand soiree. Is that the word? Seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing. Cause we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Well, well. Seems the first commander's gone and handpicked her guests. Can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Reckon it inspired the lads if you were. Might take their minds off getting their hide stand and all. Think about it, eh?
I hate to ask, but you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search the foundation, and you, the pillars.
I like how he called it the father's loving embrace. Yes, definitely what is happening.
Sweet to Hilda.
I still can't believe he actually hit the daft bastard. Gods, I wish I'd been there to see it. Huh? Tankard has something to say. Yeah, sure. He's like, do not look at me like that. I will begin my search in due time. Huh? Yeah, sure you will. Definitely. Definitely not staying here to chat Hilda, you know? Definitely.
Let's teleport out of here.
I'm keeping my eye on you. Wait, where are we going?
Teleport to the market.
It's not really hidden.
I carried Honore to the manor. Our best chirurgeons are tending to him as we speak. He is yet to wake, but surely he will. So, Father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making my decisions for me.
Why that face?
No, it's not like that. It's just, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You are free to be the man you want to be, whereas I'm the son of House Forton. Don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Tell us what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, that was the way of it. Until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicate themselves to their cause. But not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice. Which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that. Take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I had convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Honore, I wanted to scream. I wanted someone to blame. But in the end, there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Aymeric, and I will make my own decision.
See, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
But that's what I mean. Like, once again, he's like, oh yeah, because I'm always being told what to do. And once again, we get the angry face. I'm like, I would not be angry. Like, it was fair.
Yeah.
What he said was fair.
Yeah. Our characters' expressions don't make sense.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. Like, the reactions just don't make sense, because I would not react that way.
Let's go. Also, Bodrick, welcome back. I hope you had a great. I didn't even get to say. I hope you had a great holiday.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed the weekend. I hope you were able to eat a lot of food, and have a food coma.
Hope you have a food coma. Is an interesting wish for someone.
Yeah. The game might be showing its age with the limited facial expressions. Maybe.
Not.
I mean, this.
But Ember Fu, it's not the limited expressions. It's the fact that we are expressing a negative emotion towards something we should be fairly neutral.
Yeah. Like, regardless of the detail of the facial expression, like, we get the purpose of it. We get the message that is trying to be conveyed by our character or by the Final Fantasy devs or story team. Whereas we're like, that isn't really the kind of emotion that we should be showing right now. Finally. No more excuses. This will be my choice and mine alone. Okay. Temple Knight. The Lord Commander is not to be disturbed. May I ask what the matter demands his personal attention? I see. Very well. You may enter. I don't know if this is that important, to be honest, but sure. Let's interrupt whatever he's doing. Oh. I thought it was going to be changing his bandages.
Lord Commander, if I may? I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Amanalain de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You'll take charge of the Ishgardian forces.
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. there is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more. An adventurer beholden to none who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend, one more time? Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
Oh, you're getting ready, Cooper.
I am getting ready. I'm glad you noticed. I need to be in shape. To show Thancred how to fight.
True. Are you ready?
I don't know how to put it, but I'm recalling as a friend gives you that warm feeling, which is very cute.
No, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Considers you a friend, like just personally as well. It's like,
yeah,
aww.
yeah.
I'm like, are they gonna kill you to hurt me? Because you're really being nice.
That's what I was just saying to the chat. Like that moment with Sir Aymeric was good. It was good. Well, I don't really have much to complain about that cutscene. I think I was just mentioning that it felt really awkward that Em and Elaine was having this conversation with Sir Aymeric with his dad right next to him, just watching. And it's like, and it felt weird because I felt like this was maybe a conversation, or at least part of the conversation should have been had with his father, just because I feel like a lot of his conflicting emotions and a lot of what's going on with him also has to do with his dad. And I feel like that should be addressed in some way.
I like the way it was made, actually. I like that it was done in such a way where, like, he wouldn't ask his father about it. He asked someone else, Like, not his father, because his whole problem was that he was always listening to what his father says, and he doesn't like that. So he has someone else with his father there, so his father has to actually see him act on his own. I think that was all intentional, actually.
Yes and no. As in, like, I understand what you're saying. You're saying, like, look, his father's a part of the problem, right? Where his father's always telling him what to do.
Like, it's not that he's a bad person, but it's just like the whole problem is that he's just listening to other people.
Which is why I would say that, like, it would his father would have even more respect for him if he just approached his father and confronted him about this issue that he's having, about how like you know, like I want to live my life. You know, you've got my older brother. My older brother is going to inherit the house anyway. Okay, I want to do my own thing. You know, I don't want you to like have these like unrealistic expectations for me. And it felt like a weak way to do it, which is to have that conversation by proxy. Where like he doesn't talk to his father, he talks to someone else who's in the same room, hoping that his father hears. It's like, mate, just talk to him. Just talk to him.
I mean,
he's your dad,
could do both.
You know?
You could do both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do both. Fine, that's fine. But he only did one. Okay, he didn't.
Yeah,
do both.
like he
That's
like
the problem.
after like he talked to like because like I feel like the questions to Emmerich were important. And after he talked to Amy, then he could like turn to his father that like, this is my choice, like this is what I'm gonna do. Like that would be good.
Yes.
That would be good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing that it lacked was a bit of a confrontation with his father, or an acknowledgement by his father.
It's like, turn to him, like, see what I did, you know?
Yeah. That would have been the cherry on top. But outside of that, it was
I also found it cute that Emmerich was in on all of this. What I mean is like it sounded like Emmerich understands the dynamic of this family more than the Count does. Because if you remember, like the Count was like, yeah, I'm gonna send my son. He's like, yeah, if it's his will. So like it sounds like Emmerich knew that something is going on there. Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I felt was lacking here that didn't make sense for me is the older brother, Artorel. Like I would have thought that he would go too. Like that they would both go, especially because Artorel is more of the fighter, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's cool, like the imagery and the message that is being sent of Emmanuel going. Like sure, that's fine, right? Like someone who has to atone for what he's done and who is lazy and he doesn't take responsibility. Okay, now he's stepping up to do this. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But his brother is the guy who's like actually responsible and actually a fighter and would actually do well in the tournament. So it's like the other thing that they could have had as well, because we haven't had an interaction between the brothers ever since that moment. And it would be nice if, I mean, we still haven't seen, maybe we will get it, but a moment where his brother like takes him under his wing a little bit more, because he is the older brother, right? To like, you know, have a moment with him regarding, you know, responsibility and
yeah. See, it would be good if they had like a scene where like maybe the father would be like, yeah, and my oldest should like be commander or something, and then the oldest would be like, no, this is his responsibility, like let him have it.
Yeah.
Because like
something like that.
So like he would acknowledge that like this is like his, like, you know. So like, because if the brother also goes to fight, then like he can like hide behind his brother, but like the whole point is that he's supposed to like do it on his own.
Yeah. Like if the brother is there, then that takes away a lot of the impact of Emmanuel going.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, sorry.
Call him
So yeah. So for his brother to step down, like for him, like that would be like another scene that maybe we still will get.
Yeah, but now it's already decided, so it's kind of too late.
Yeah, it's true. It's already, we can't have that.
But like it would be anymore. Good. It would be good if the older brother was the one who would be like, no, this is his thing, or maybe if the younger brother would like ask his older brother like, don't help me, like I have to do this on my own.
Yeah.
Like any kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like. And I do agree that Emmerich does have a really nice voice. I agree. It's not just a voice. He has a very specific way of speaking, a specific manner of speaking.
Yeah,
makes it very interesting. Also,
it's like a tal.
I wanted to say that I actually have to go.
Okay. I was gonna say, ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Máximo in the chat, Máximo. But yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
I got the call that I'm supposed to go and do something.
Okay. It's holiday related.
Kind of, yes.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, we had a decent stream. Almost 4 hours. Not bad.
Yeah, and we
actually
went through like most of this like arc, I guess.
Yeah. Again, so far, this last scene was nice. It was I like it, but there was a lot that was lacking in the overall. The incident that happened as well beforehand. Was a bit. Yeah, it was a bit smooth.
I like how somebody just like calmly walks into the room and sees you like just running on the
I
table.
noticed that as well. Someone who's in the middle of a quest and I'm just jumping around.
Yeah,
I apologize.
not just in the middle of the quest, but they're also like RP walking around like properly and all, and then like there's just crazy Mikota just jumping on all the maps. Screw them.
Okay.
It was a very lit moment.
I'll leave them be. They're RPing.
No, you're RPing too. I'm fairly certain you would do that.
It's true. I'm getting ready for the melee. I'm getting ready. Oh, good. Is there an MSQ schedule I can look forward to? So we do have all of our VODs the majority of our VODs saved. I save my VODs on Twitch. Kuro uploads them to YouTube.
I mean,
when
I
it
have
comes
them
to our
both
next
on Twitch
stream,
and YouTube, yeah.
There you go, Twitch and YouTube. When it comes to our streams, they're a little bit haphazard. We do have a Discord if you want to join it, where we post whenever we go live and all that stuff. But we try and stream once a week.
It's
at least once a week.
Like the days are not consistent, but the times are more or less. Like it's generally around this time.
Yeah. Generally, we're live around this time, so the time is what you would expect. We kind of have to split our attention between a couple of things. We're mainly focusing on StarCraft and esports related stuff. It's kind of like in the off time that we have a little bit more freedom available to us that we, stream Final Fantasy and we try and play through the story. Because of that, we're going to be a little bit busy this week. We have like a couple of tournaments that we're going to be casting and a couple of tournaments that we're going to be a part of. But yes. That's also why it's taking us so long to play Final Fantasy, is because we only ever play MSQ on stream, and we usually have like a day a week to do it. Like it's if that.
Yeah, and then we do one side quest, and it turns into 5-hour stream of one quest line.
Yeah. We were the last thing we did other than the Christmas event was the Hildebrand storyline, and we also did what's his name? Bradian, yeah, the Bradian
the whole
storyline.
Scholastica thing. Like we thought this was a random side quest, and then it turned out it's the whole quest line, and it took us 5 hours.
Yeah, last week we're like, okay, we're gonna do a bunch of side quests, we're gonna clean a bunch of stuff up, and then we end up spending 5 hours just doing the Bradian quest line, and it just evolved into like this massive thing, and we're like, oh. We're like, where did this come from? It wasn't even like a special marked quest on the map or anything. We just stumbled upon it, and we were just stuck in there for 5 hours. Like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, also because you said like we do a lot of like discussion about in-depth. It's like, I feel like that's the interesting part to like sink into the world and kind of like understand it a bit better. Like I like just figuring out a lot of lore things, which is why I read all the dialogues. Like I do all the beast stripes and stuff, and I have to record beast stripes. I haven't done that yet. But I'm planning to record like beast stripe quests, so people who don't like do all the beast stripes can also see what the story there is.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to know how the entire like world works.
Yeah. Like we've played other MMOs before, and we're fully understanding that the Final Fantasy 14 is very story based. So because of that, we're approaching this a little bit differently. We're not like rushing to the end game to like do raiding or PvP, even though that's something like.
I always play games like that.
Sure. But even though I like that's something that like I do for like World of War, or have done before for World of Warcraft or something. But because Final Fantasy is very different, like we're trying to enjoy and like delve into the story as much as we can, because it's interesting. There's good and there's also bad, right? Like depending on how things are done. But overall, we've been enjoying our time.
Yeah, I did say, like, especially like throughout the later quests, I have become a fan of Alfino. Alfino is done pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For sure.
And then there's Mielikka.
Well, I mean, she's gone now. Okay?
I mean, yeah, she's gone now, apparently.
Apparently. Yeah. It'd not be too much for me to say Alphino's my favorite. Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel like Alphino is the main character of Final Fantasy.
Which
it does feel that way. Yeah.
Like it's perfectly fine because he's actually an interesting character, and I also like that we kind of we don't exactly take a mentor role of him, but like it's kind of like an older sibling kind of thing where it's like we're like making sure he's fine, you know. Like we're friends, but like we're also like older than him, and we kind of try to take care of him.
Yeah. And very clearly, like he's experiencing growth throughout like each expansion.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So like we're kind of like watching him grow and like making sure he's okay.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it's nice. So yeah. We'll probably like looking at our schedule. We may stream this weekend.
We'll see.
We will see, yeah, because we're gonna be busy, and obviously especially because it's the holidays, like either one of us may have some family stuff to attend to, just because it's New Year's and all that stuff. So we've got a lot going on. So yeah, if you're interested, join our Discord. I just linked it in the chat. Yes. You'll be notified there. I will also be like, yeah, we'll also be pinging people like whenever we do like dungeons or raids. We'll probably be pinging people as well, just so we can do content together, like group content. Whether that's on stream or off stream, like it kind of depends.
Like as we said, like other than streaming like MSQ and side quests, like we do log in almost every day to load all the dailies and other random stuff. So
yeah, like if you're wondering like how I got to max level, it's because like there's like the Tombstone event going on right now, so you just like spam dungeons and you get experience that way, and that's yeah.
Yeah.
We're becoming heavily over leveled because of events like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Smooch. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Kupo, do you wanna take us to our Christmas tree?
Which one?
The one at home.
Which one?
I'll take us.
I don't get the teleport.
Oh wait, you don't get the teleport?
No, not when you go to the housing area.
Oh, okay. The goblet.
The goblet, okay.
As Sprouts, if you group with a mentor, you get 10+. Ah, yes, we can get all of our jobs to 90 before the end of Heaven's Ward. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah, this is our personal house.
Oh yeah. We've got our own FC and our FC house. We have our personal house here as well. We've done it all, Papi.
Let's go to the tree.
Okay, let's go.
I don't think the stream has ever seen the inside because we don't really show this house on stream. And I only just started.
Surprised none have reached out to you. We have some like friends that also play Final Fantasy that are mentors that we sometimes play with, but outside of our own like personal group, like we haven't really seen any
Yeah, our
others
two
reach out?
main like mentors are Catatonic, which is Matthew Mercer, and Soko, and like they teach us everything. So sometimes we play together as well.
Yeah. We've been sprouts for 2 years. How much longer are we gonna stay sprouts?
Like I literally put I don't know if I put it in my Twitter description, but in my Discord description I just put Forever Sprout. I'm just Forever Sprout.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a Matthew Mercer character, but it has nothing to do with the voice actor. It's apparently Kata got a random name generated. Like she just pressed the random button and that's what she got.
Yes,
Look.
not the real Matthew Mercer, but in game the character is called Matthew Mercer. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for dropping by Emperor Fubu, Bodrick, Clown8 subscribed earlier, Maximo as well. Gracias, papi, gracias.
Rosalia was here as well.
Rosalia was here earlier as well. And yeah, we'll have another stream at some point, maybe this weekend, more likely next week, where we'll probably continue the MSQ, and we'll probably also finish up the quests in Azizla, because we were halfway through the Azizla quest line.
We were doing the Azizla side quests, and then we got distracted.
we got interrupted by the anti-tower that we had to do. So until then, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.